No contact is one of the most powerful strategies you can use to regain control over your emotions and reclaim your life after heartbreak, manipulation, or a toxic relationship. Yet, many men and women struggle with it because the temptation to reach out, to seek closure, or to feel normal again can be overwhelming. Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in self-discipline, patience, and clarity of mind. But it also acknowledges that not every situation is absolute. There are rare moments when breaking your no contact isn't a failure. It's a calculated, conscious decision. The key is knowing exactly when it's appropriate and when it will only weaken your progress. In this video, we're going to explore 5 specific situations where reaching out could be justified and why understanding these moments will empower you to act wisely rather than impulsively. If you stick with this, you'll know precisely when to break no contact and when to stay strong. 1. Genuine apology or closure. One of the few valid reasons to break no contact is if the other person reaches out with a genuine apology or an attempt at true closure. Stoicism teaches us to value truth and authenticity above ego or pride. If someone sincerely recognizes their mistakes, takes full responsibility, and communicates with humility, it creates an opportunity not to reopen old wounds, but to gain clarity and peace of mind. Not all apologies are created equal. A manipulative sorry designed to lure you back is not a reason to break your boundary. It's a test. Often one you will fail if you respond impulsively. The apology must be specific, accountable, and honest. For example, instead of vague statements like, "I'm sorry for everything," a genuine apology will acknowledge the exact behavior, its impact on you, and a commitment to change. Breaking no contact in this scenario isn't about rekindling the relationship. It's about reclaiming your mental and emotional balance. You're stepping in not to engage emotionally, but to confirm the truth, release lingering tension, and understand the person's intentions. It's a chance to close the chapter fully, allowing you to move forward with awareness. The Stoic principle of distinguishing what is within your control versus what isn't is crucial here. You cannot control the other person's past actions, but you can control your response. Meeting them briefly or responding calmly to an apology is within your control, and it can prevent you from carrying unnecessary emotional baggage. However, even in this case, strict boundaries are essential. You respond only once, and you respond only with clarity and finality. There is no room for endless discussions, rehashing arguments, or emotional debates. The goal is understanding, not validation or reconciliation. Breaking no contact for closure or apology is rare. It requires discernment, patience, and a clear mind. Stoicism reminds us that your peace is far more important than satisfying curiosity or indulging emotions. If approached correctly, responding to a genuine apology can be empowering, not weakening, because it allows you to end with dignity and maintain control over your emotional state. In short, the only valid reason to respond here is truth and closure, not desire, resentment, or hope. It's a conscious, reasoned action, not an impulsive one. And that distinction is what separates a Stoic from someone trapped in the cycle of heartbreak. 2. Immediate danger or crisis. Another situation where breaking no contact is justified is if the other person is in immediate danger or crisis. Stoicism teaches that while we should focus on our own virtue and inner peace, we are also part of a larger human community. Ignoring someone's life-threatening situation or severe emotional breakdown goes against the Stoic principle of rational compassion. This does not mean you abandon your boundaries for every minor inconvenience or attempt at emotional manipulation. The crisis must be genuine and urgent. For instance, threats of self-harm, severe accidents, or situations where their well-being is at serious risk. Responding in such circumstances is not about emotional indulgence. It is about practical responsibility and moral duty. Stoics understand that there are events in life beyond our control, and acting virtuously in response to those events strengthens character rather than diminishes it. When you respond, clarity and calmness are critical. Avoid reacting from anger, fear, or past resentment. Instead, act as a rational and composed observer, offering assistance in a measured way. For example, you might guide them toward professional help, contact emergency services if needed, or provide minimal support while maintaining boundaries that protect your own mental health. Breaking no contact in this context should be purpose-driven, not emotion-driven. The goal is not to rekindle attachment or restore a relationship. It is to address an immediate and serious problem responsibly. You maintain control over your actions while ensuring that your inaction does not contribute to harm. It's important to recognize your limitations. You do not have to solve all their problems or become their emotional crutch. Stoicism teaches the difference between what you can change and what you cannot. You can offer help in ways that are within your control, but you cannot force someone to heal or make better choices. Maintaining this mindset prevents the situation from spiraling into emotional dependency, which would undermine the purpose of no contact. By responding in the case of genuine danger, you exercise discernment, virtue, and courage, all key Stoic principles. You act rationally, without falling into the trap of impulsive emotions, while honoring your moral responsibilities as a human being. In conclusion, a crisis or urgent danger is one of the rare circumstances where breaking no contact is justified. Stoicism reminds us that our peace is vital, but so is our responsibility to act virtuously in moments where inaction could cause harm. Responding thoughtfully and deliberately strengthens your character and preserves your dignity while still adhering to the higher principles of discipline and self-control. 3. Mutual important responsibilities. Sometimes breaking no contact is necessary when there are shared responsibilities that cannot be ignored. This could involve co-parenting, shared financial obligations, business partnerships, or other situations where collaboration is unavoidable. Stoicism emphasizes practicality and virtue, teaching that we should act rationally in accordance with reality rather than letting emotions dictate our decisions. No contact is about emotional boundaries, but it does not mean abandoning duties or responsibilities that are essential. For instance, parents must communicate about the welfare of their children, even if the relationship is toxic or ended badly. Similarly, business partners must coordinate on contracts, deadlines, or projects to prevent mutual loss or failure. Ignoring these responsibilities can create chaos, stress, and consequences far beyond your control, which is exactly what Stoicism warns against. When you do break no contact for shared responsibilities, the key is detachment and focus. You communicate only what is necessary, keeping interactions strictly task-oriented. For example, a parent might send messages solely about school schedules or medical appointments. A business partner might exchange emails about deadlines or deliverables. Emotional discussions, apologies, or personal grievances have no place in these exchanges. Stoic wisdom reminds us to act with rationality over sentiment, ensuring that every communication serves a purpose. Maintaining boundaries in this scenario requires discipline. You must resist the temptation to linger in emotional exchanges, replay past grievances, or reopen unresolved conflicts. Responding must be intentional and brief, not impulsive. For example, you might set specific times for discussion or use structured communication methods like email instead of phone calls to maintain emotional distance. Furthermore, breaking no contact for shared responsibilities can also serve as a training ground for your discipline. You practice controlling your impulses, prioritizing reason over emotion, and acting virtuously even in difficult circumstances. Stoicism teaches that external events are neutral. It is our interpretation and response that determines suffering. By approaching shared responsibilities with clarity and purpose, you demonstrate mastery over your mind, rather than being ruled by resentment, anger, or longing. In essence, interacting for important responsibilities does not mean surrendering your emotional strength. It is a calculated, controlled, and purposeful engagement. You are responding to the demands of reality, not the pull of desire or attachment. Recognizing this distinction ensures that your no-contact strategy remains effective while also honoring the unavoidable obligations life sometimes imposes. Breaking no contact in this context is strategic, rational, and stoic. It is about acting correctly in the face of necessity, not giving in to emotional weakness. When done mindfully, these interactions preserve your dignity, reinforce your self-control, and prevent unnecessary chaos in areas of life that cannot be ignored. 4. Unexpected personal growth. Breaking no contact can sometimes be justified when you or the other person experiences genuine personal growth that changes the dynamics of your relationship. Stoicism teaches that humans are capable of continuous improvement through self-reflection, discipline, and virtuous action. If someone demonstrates real change, not superficial gestures or empty promises, it can be a valid reason to reconsider your stance. True personal growth is measurable through consistent actions, not mere words. For example, if the other person has acknowledged past mistakes, actively worked to overcome destructive behaviors, and communicates responsibly and respectfully, it signals that their transformation may allow for a healthier interaction. Similarly, your own growth may make you more resilient, balanced, and able to engage without falling into old patterns of emotional dependence or reactivity. However, breaking no contact in this scenario requires extreme discernment. It is crucial to separate genuine transformation from manipulation. Many people attempt to appear changed temporarily to regain access to your emotions, often using carefully timed gestures to test your boundaries. Stoicism reminds us to evaluate situations rationally, observing behaviors over time rather than being swayed by immediate impressions or emotional cravings. When considering re-engagement, set strict parameters. Your communication should be cautious and experimental, not full-scale immersion back into the previous relationship. Observe how their behavior aligns with their claims of growth. For example, do they demonstrate accountability consistently, respect your boundaries, and respond with patience rather than defensiveness? Stoic wisdom teaches that actions reveal truth more reliably than words ever can. Your own growth matters as much as theirs. Before breaking no contact, reflect on your current emotional state, values, and long-term goals. Ask yourself, am I responding out of strength and clarity, or am I seeking old comfort or validation? If your decision stems from a place of reason, you honor Stoic principles while potentially allowing for a renewed, healthier connection. If it stems from lingering attachment or desire, it is best to maintain your boundary. Ultimately, breaking no contact due to personal growth, whether yours or theirs, requires calculated evaluation, patience, and observation. It is not an impulsive action, but a conscious choice grounded in rationality and virtue. You are testing the potential for a healthier dynamic while maintaining control over your emotions, boundaries, and decisions. In short, re-engagement is justified only when growth is authentic, consistent, and observable, and when your participation in communication aligns with reason rather than impulse. Stoicism emphasizes that your inner peace and self-mastery remain paramount. By responding selectively to genuine personal growth, you exercise judgment, courage, and restraint, ensuring that your no-contact strategy remains purposeful and empowering. 5. Rare opportunity for mutual benefit. The final scenario where breaking no contact may be justified is when it presents a rare opportunity for mutual benefit that cannot occur otherwise. Stoicism teaches that while we must prioritize our own peace and virtue, we should also recognize situations where engagement serves a higher purpose, practical, meaningful, or beneficial to both parties. Mutual benefit doesn't mean indulging emotions or reviving old attachments. It refers to situations where communication can create positive outcomes without compromising your integrity or emotional stability. For example, collaborating on a project, resolving a legal matter, or coordinating something that has tangible consequences for both parties can justify temporary contact. Ignoring these opportunities could create unnecessary complications, losses, or regrets, which Stoicism advises against. To approach this correctly, clarity and boundaries are essential. Break no contact only with a specific goal in mind. Determine the exact reason for engagement and plan your interaction carefully. For instance, if you need to negotiate a financial settlement, limit your communication to clear, factual discussions. Do not allow room for emotional tangents, debates about past conflicts, or attempts at manipulation. Stoic wisdom emphasizes acting rationally and with purpose, ensuring that every word and action serves the defined objective. Another key consideration is your emotional preparedness. Before responding, assess whether you can maintain detachment and control. Stoicism teaches that external circumstances are neutral. It is our judgments that create distress. By framing the interaction as practical rather than personal, you maintain your emotional independence while addressing the necessary issue. It is also important to recognize the rarity of this scenario. Most attempts to reconnect or break no contact are driven by desire, curiosity, or insecurity, not genuine mutual benefit. Stoicism stresses discernment. You must evaluate whether the opportunity truly serves both parties' rational interests or is merely a trap that will pull you back into a cycle of emotional turbulence. When handled correctly, breaking no contact for mutual benefit can be empowering and constructive, rather than weakening. You demonstrate self-mastery by engaging only when necessary, acting rationally, and prioritizing practical outcomes over emotional impulses. It is a conscious choice that aligns with Stoic principles. Focus on what is within your control, act virtuously, and do not let external events disturb your inner peace. In summary, rare opportunities for mutual benefit are one of the few situations where breaking no contact is justifiable. By approaching these moments with purpose, clarity, and emotional discipline, you maintain your autonomy, protect your peace, and act with Stoic wisdom. This approach ensures that even when contact is necessary, it strengthens your character instead of diminishing it. Breaking no contact is a decision that should never be taken lightly. Stoicism teaches us that our peace of mind, self-discipline, and clarity are more valuable than fleeting impulses or unresolved emotions. Yet life occasionally presents situations where re-engagement is not only justified, but necessary. Whether it's a genuine apology, immediate danger, shared responsibilities, authentic personal growth, or a rare opportunity for mutual benefit, the key is intentional, rational, and purpose-driven action. In each of these cases, responding is not about surrendering to desire or emotional weakness. It is about exercising discernment, acting virtuously, and maintaining control over your reactions. The Stoic approach demands that every communication serves a clear goal, respects boundaries, and preserves your inner equilibrium. By understanding these rare exceptions, you empower yourself to act wisely rather than impulsively, ensuring that breaking no contact strengthens rather than weakens you. Ultimately, the rule of no contact remains a tool for self-mastery and clarity, not a rigid restriction for its own sake. When approached with reason, courage, and discipline, even breaking this boundary can become a testament to your Stoic strength, allowing you to navigate life, relationships, and challenges with dignity, wisdom, and peace.